My new business, I'm focusing on my new business, and then one day a light bulb went off. She was like, wait a minute, TV show, free press. I can make this work, and I can make this work for my beautytainers, because one of our mottos at the home office, at headquarters, that we actually have on the walls there, is that we see the world through the eyes of the beautytainer. And that means that every single thing that we do, every single thing we think, every single action we take is for our beautytainers. And so Tyra decided to go ahead and do Fab Life because she knew that it would help beautytainers. And our very first integration, as we call it, which means a feature on the show, was last Monday, the 28th of September. And it was awesome. And Chrissy Teigen and Tyra Bank and Lauren Mack and Leah Ashley all gave themselves tie-overs on the show. And it was fantastic.
Was that the naked show?
That was the naked show. The no makeup, made up look. Yep. And that was all Tyra Beauty products. And so more and more you're going to be seeing that, because that's what we're all about. It's about helping people find that transformation, find that success, and really find they're happy, which I think is, at the end of the day, the most important thing in the world. You know, life is too short to be doing something you don't want to be doing. And it's too short to be doing it with people that you don't like. You know, we all really, really love each other. Not everybody's going to be best friends, of course, but there's this mutual understanding and respect that, oh, you do what I do. Like, we both do this, and we have something in common, even if in any other circumstances we would have had nothing in common. And so I really, truly believe that Tyra Beauty is a very unique and different opportunity. And so I invite you all to, you know, ask questions. If you don't like speaking out loud, we can mingle a little bit. You can ask your beautytainers, but I just want to thank you for taking a little chunk of time on your Saturday afternoon to come kick it with us and hear about the company. And again, my name's Evie, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you guys have any. Thank you.
People's faces and stuff. You're not licensed. What are they?
Esthetician.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could you get in trouble?
No, not in this state. Not in most states. There are a few states that do have very specific regulations, and I don't know them off the top of my head. Apparently there's more than one of me. I don't know them off the top of my head, but they are outlined in our policies and procedures document, and we do give very specific how to apply instructions in that document in those circumstances. We also give instructions on sanitization, and you know, all of that good stuff to keep people safe and to protect their businesses and also to protect their customers.
That was one thing that concerned me about the business.
Absolutely, yeah. In the state of Nevada and the state of California, it's not an issue.
Okay, right.
What is the best way of doing that? Say, like, you're gonna message somebody on Facebook. What's the best way of doing that without having that person feel like you're constantly pestering me? I don't want to do this.
Absolutely.
I don't want that.
So we have you read the Getting Started guide? We're going to get more into this. Are you staying for training?
I will stay.
Okay, we're going to get more into it a little bit, but really it's about what we like to call customer confessions. And that means that you get to know somebody. So instead of just reaching out and being like, hi, I want to sell you this. I mean, if anybody said that to me, I would be like, bye, Felicia, I'm done. Right? Like, nope. And that's one of the reasons that, you know, that we've created this, is that when you go to like a Nordstrom or a JCPenney's, there's a counter in between you and that salesperson, and that person does not take time to know you. Hi, what are you looking for today? Well, I don't know what I'm looking for today. And that's why now I have a product graveyard in my bathroom, because you have sold me over the past several years several $100s worth of stuff that I don't use. But as a beautytainer, you take the time to get to know people. You ask them questions, and you ask them specific questions and listen to the answers, and that's how you can fill a need for them. Because, you know, everybody needs something, and as women, like, we use a lot of makeup. Even when we don't think we use a lot of makeup, we do. And so it's really about asking those questions, listening to the answers, and then being like, hey, you know, I remember when you said that you just kind of feel like you wake up in the morning, your face is like a little dull and listless, or you just feel tired. Well, Cheek and a Stick is really awesome, and I love it because when I feel tired, like, it's the first thing I put on my face because it just gives me a little bit of color and I don't feel like a zombie. And so it becomes a little bit more of a natural conversation. And so it's about that understanding and really putting yourself out there to ask those questions so you can get genuine answers back from them.
It's amazing. I've been checking it out online and stuff. Do you think there's what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't want to say an age limit, but
I'm so glad you asked that, because I was just thinking that I forgot to say one thing, and I'm so happy that you asked. So I think it's a couple things, and then there's a hand up in the back. Why don't you go first?
My name is Vicki. Hello.
Hi, Vicki.
I'm 60 years old, and I just got into this 2 weeks ago. Oh, you go wearing it. I have been wearing it since July. Okay. I love it. I absolutely love it. So let me back up 30 years, or more than 30 years. I married a man that every time he saw me when we were dating, I was dolled up. My hair looked good, my makeup looked good, I always looked good. Okay, we get married, and I don't look so good anymore. So I did my best to get my shower, and I always put some makeup on, something, just so that I didn't look so bad, okay? Well, we've been married a couple of years, actually, and I just felt like crap one day, literally, and I didn't put any makeup on. I just comb my hair back, I have long hair, comb my hair back, no makeup. I go walking in the living room, and he looks at me and says, "Do you feel sick today?" And I said, "No, why?" He says, "Well, you don't have your makeup on." I said, "Okay." So I went back in, I put some makeup on. Every day I wear makeup. Every morning I get up, I wear makeup. I don't care if I don't feel like it, I'm going to put it on. And it does make me feel better. And I think all you know that. So if you've got your makeup on, you know you look a little better, you're going to feel a little better. And that's what you were saying earlier.
Absolutely.
So whenever I started this, I thought, okay, I'm 60 years old. I don't have, where I live, this is another thing. I live in a very rural area between a couple of big cattle ranches. The women that I associate with, they don't wear makeup. They don't wear makeup. So I have a challenge, a real challenge ahead of me. But I think one at a time, little by little. If it's just the cheek stuff, if it's just the highlighter, if it's just mascara, I'm going to make it work.
Yep.
You know, I'm determined. This is going to be my thing.
No, it sounds, yeah.
And I thank you so much for volunteering that. And I think that's, you know, your story, I'm sure resonates with so many people. And go ahead.
One more thing.
Yeah.
When I was in my early 20s, I met a lady. Her husband had a Dodge dealership. First time I'd ever met her in my life, she was beautiful. Blonde, tall, beautiful. Beautiful. She came to me and she said, "I just want you to know, I think you are a beautiful person." Shocked me. Absolutely shocked me. And I said, you know, thank you. Yeah. And then she said to me, if a woman doesn't tell another woman that they look good or that they're pretty, who else are they going to hear it from? And they really mean it. And I thought, you know what, you were dead on. And so ever since then, I mean, that's what it's all about.
I think that's so powerful. And I think that Tyra would love that. Absolutely. And that's what she's all about.
It's making other women feel good about themselves. And I don't care if you're 15 or 50 or 60 years.
Absolutely. And so, and to that point, thank you so much for sharing. Tyra has such a following that spans generations, right? I mean, like, we're all different ages and backgrounds and demographics in this room, and it's so much more broad than that. And she, you know, my 9-year-old niece is like, "Auntie Evie, you work for Tyra Banks?" Like, really? And I'm like, "No, yeah, it's every single time." She lives 5 minutes away from me. She asks me every time. I've been with the company for 10 months. It's still one of the first things she said. And she's 9. And then, you know, we have beautytainers who are in their 70s. And she spans generations because she started her career over 20 years ago, so people knew who she was, but also because of her talk show, because of America's Next Top Model, because of Fab Life, because of her foundation, not makeup foundation, charitable foundation, just to be clear, we don't have face foundation yet. But she really does. And so this opportunity and the makeup itself really appeals to so many different demographics and age groups. And part of it is the ease of application, and part of it is who Tyra Banks is, and part of it is, you know, I try to tell beautytainers every time I talk to them that yes, Tyra brings in the PR, she brings in the connection, she resonates with people, but at the end of the day, what sells this product is the personal brand of each beautytainer, because people like that personal connection. They really do. And case in point, we had a really big wait list of people who were ready to, who said they wanted to join Tyra Beauty when we opened the doors to everybody after our pre-launch phase. And a very small percentage actually signed up. And on the same day that we opened the doors, we had a crazy amount of enrollments through beautytainers. And what that means is that people really, really want to have that personal connection. And so it's really kind of like the perfect combination of, you know, somebody who is the CEO of this company, but also somebody who's bringing that, you know, authenticity and legitimate connection to your end consumer.
My little get together last night. There was 2 of the women were in their 50s and one of them was 30. And one of the women who was 50, when I was getting ready to take it out, I was talking just a little bit about, I was just chit-chatting. I didn't want to make it feel like salesy and presentation-y or anything. I just sat down and I was like, what's going on? I was like setting some stuff up and we were just kind of chatting and they asked me questions and I just made it super simple. Like if we were just hanging out and I mean, it was so simple. And so I was saying how, yeah, we just opened a couple weeks ago and it's cool because Tyra created these products. And she's like, is this the stuff that's on, that they talked about on Fab Life? And I'm like, really? Right now? Like that's crazy that you can be in a company that's 2 weeks old, and when you talk to somebody about it, this woman, I'd never met her before, and I would never have expected her to be watching that show necessarily, and she was like, yeah, is that from Fab Life? I'm like, yes it is, and she's like, I can't wait to try it. And she had no idea what she was even coming over for. She was a neighbor. They were like, come over for some makeup party. She's like, okay. I love it. So she came over, she had no idea what it was, and 2 weeks in, I'm like, I mean, it's huge, the potential, because people are like, I'll try it just for that, so, because they see that PR.
Cool.